So what did I do for starters? This particular fan, when we bought the RV, which was 8 months ago, only had 2 speeds, so I knew something was going on with it. A lot of times when your fans don't work, it's because your plunger's bad. And what is your plunger? Your plunger is normally a little thing that pushes up and down just like a plunger. And actually my other 2 have those, but it pushes up and down and it will get stuck. Rusted, dry rot, whatever you want to call it. It'll get stuck in a down position. Well, when that plunger is down, that's telling the circuit board that the lid is closed. It will not, and they will not run with the lid closed. This one will, because it doesn't have a plunger. It's not set up that way. But they did have some issues. One of them was this piece here, which I did replace it. And this is my gear mechanism for, I could turn the knob on the inside and it makes this come up and down. When this comes up and down, it pushes on this and makes this open. So it's basically my door opener. I did replace it. I might have it in another video. Actually, I don't think I did a video on it. But anyway, now this is a one-way directional fan, is what this is. And this control board is up under here. And what I had done is I came up here and I spun it and I looked around to see if there was anything abnormal with it, and there wasn't. So now we're going to go inside and I'm going to take it back apart, although I got the new one already in it. I'm going to show you what the old one looked like and how you can tell if it's bad, and some telltale signs, and what it takes to, how many screws and how much of an electrical engineer you need to be, which is not much, I assure you. Well, this is the fan, and the issue I was having with it when we first got the RV, which we bought used, it only had 1 speed or 2 speeds, and that should be your first sign that you've got something going on here. More than likely this the control panel here. I'm about to take this apart, and basically I'm going to look at the control panel that's here on the other side of this and see just exactly how see how not working it is. It's relatively easy to take out. This one here has got turning knobs, like my little turning knobs, and that shows your fan there. I know it's not a problem with the motor, because that spins free. Actually, when it does spin, it's like whisper quiet. It's awesome. So I may do some cleaning on it while I got it apart. But I got these screws here to take out, and then it'll drop down, and also this piece here does come out, but I don't know if I need to take it out to show you what we're doing here. So let me preface this first by saying, always when you're dealing with electricity, you should turn the breaker off. Now, if you've most professional people that do this, all they really need to do is turn off the switch. So here's my switch. This one's actually connected to my lights, which is pretty common in a lot of RVs. So this one here says shower. It turns on 2 lights, turns on this light, and it turns on this light. It doesn't turn on that light there. So as long as I've got the light switch turned off, I've got no power going to it. Now understand one thing: once you take all those 3 screws out, or 4 screws out, you also need to take this one out, which is the knob. There's a screw right above it, right in the center of it, and you need to take it out also. And when you do, it all comes loose. It will all... I'm not going to do the rest of it. But this will actually slide down if you take out these screws here, which is basically a shroud that goes around it. My shroud I have actually cut down because it was not fitting. It was causing it to bow. It was causing the screws to pull out. What I mean by that is the plastic was hitting this other piece of plastic up here where it comes together. So now I've got a little bit of a gap, but luckily the gap is on that side. It's on the north end of the shroud coming down that goes around the fan. So if I do get any water in here, it's going to come down. It's not going to go inside my walls. All right, I got my little step stool, so I'm going to be a little closer to the action. What I need to replace was this circuit board. Now, let me say this. That was my cover that goes in here. That's what fell. I need to replace this circuit board. The circuit board's only got 2 screws in it. If I were to take this piece off, which is only 4 screws, it would pop down and all this would hang. And it's got 4 screws, or should I say 4 wires coming out of the circuit board. And it's going to look like this. This is actually what it looks like. It looks just like this circuit board does. So that's what I bought. I bought it on e-trailer, I think it was. I did not get it through Amazon, or couldn't find it through eBay. But I did find an e-trailer had it. I think it was $40 or something. And so I needed the two button kind. Now, I could tell by looking at it that, and so can you, of what's wrong with it. You see anything? Do you? You see the discoloration there? Well, that's because this piece here basically burnt. Now, you could pull those out if you had a solder gun and had used circuit boards before, but for 40 bucks, no, I think I'll just do this. Besides that, these little pieces here are probably kind of hard to find, and they may be expensive, you never know. But this is what I needed. So I needed the 2-button. It's going to come with these wires. It's going to come with an adapter there, which is good. I love when they come with adapters, because those adapters are going to plug straight in. And it came with another set of wires. The set of wires coming off of this, of the brand new one that I got, this set of wires here was like, I don't know, 18 inches long. It was freaking huge. I cut this off short. I did have to strip the wires here at the end of the brand new one that I had. They were actually already pre-stripped, but then wherever I cut this off at, I had to strip it and tie those 2 wires together, and they're actually running just underneath this shroud here. I put all the wires together as they come out. Let's go over here. As they come out, and then all I did was take these screws out, put this back in upside down, because there's little holes directly behind here to allow these nubs here to line up. You follow me? See these nubs here? So those nubs are going to line up right with these holes, so you know exactly where it goes. Now, do you have to do that very much? Not really, because it's got 2 screw holes, and since this is basically exact equipment, you just screw the 2 holes in and it's going to line up itself. But that's how you get that done. And then all you do is push it back up together, put this thing back on, which you need your shroud that goes in here. Let me show you that. This is the piece that just hit me in the leg. So I would take this and put it over top. I would put it over top of that. And then with that, I'm going to push all this back together and push my handle back up inside this hole here. And it's going to go right in there, and that's what's going to allow my vent to open. I've got a dual vent. Of course, you saw from the outside, I've got a dual cover. The great thing about dual covers, and I highly recommend it for everybody, is if it rains, you don't have to worry about closing this vent. It can rain all at once. Matter of fact, it rained last night, and I had this open about that far. So let me get this thing back together. All right, everything's buttoned back up, nice. Put those other screws in, put this cover back on. Turn these here will actually pop out when you take this off if you wanted to, and that would be a good time to clean it anytime you got it apart. So it's looking good there. I got it on at the wall. No, I don't have it on at the wall because I know this light's not on. Hey, light's on. So the light's on now, so then I can turn the fan on, hit the button, nothing happens. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes. Wait for it. That one there is such a slow mover. But watch this. Remember, before all I had was like 1 speed, and when I replaced this, I had 0, I had nothing. Put power to it, nothing, and so that wasn't good. This is a 4-speed fan, as you can see right here. Let's see if it goes off. So now with that new one on there, you know, that's a whole lot better to replace that thing for that little bit of money, $40, as opposed to, you know, $400 or $500, which is what sometimes they can cost for a fantastic fan. This has only got a 1-speed, or should I say 1 directional, so it won't push air down. It'll only suck air out. So that's just the nature of this particular brand. I hope this helps as far as trying to help you do some how-to stuff and do it on your own and not have to pay somebody else to do it for you. It's a very simple job. You can definitely do it yourself. All you need is a screwdriver. In fact, I just used a power screwdriver. I didn't even use a manual screwdriver. A lot of times I use a manual screwdriver when I want to be careful not to tighten something down too much, because you really don't need to be doing that in an RV. If you tighten everything down too much, it tends to strip out the holes. So be sure to like and subscribe and send this to your friends and see if they need any help as far as replacing a circuit board in a fan. It's not that difficult, and you can do it. Well, I'm going to let you go. Be sure to like and subscribe, because you are now leaving the coolest life, how-to edition.